Hi everyone. So in this video, I will be demonstrating you how to call your AWS Lambda function from a Spring Boot application. So only the milliseconds of call which you made to AWS Lambda function, only those will be chargeable and not for keeping your function in your console. So without further ado, let's start. So right now I'm in my IntelliJ screen for creating a new project. So let's name the project as Lambda call demo and keep the language as Java. Type is Maven and JDK is 17, packaging is Java. Let's move ahead and import our dependencies. So I'll be using Spring Web for creating REST APIs. Only this is required. We can proceed further. So now this project creation might take some time. So the project is loaded now. Now we can proceed further and start with our business logics. So let's start with creating the packages. First one will be controllers. Second one will be services. And the third one will be models. Now we have to create a new controller class called Lambda controller, which will have our REST APIs. So we have to annotate it as at the REST controller to make it REST API compliant, and we have to define our REST API method. It will be returning a list of integers. I will tell you why in a few minutes, and it will be named as print left rotate by d places, and it will expect a request body. This will be the body pass from the postman, and it will be a custom class created called lambda array request. We can name it anything, but for now, for keeping it understandable, let's make lambda array request, and we have to create this class. For removing the errors, I will be returning null for now, but I will be adding the logic soon. Also, we need to inject the service layer dependency for Lambda service, which will be creating soon. Lambda service is the name of the class, and it will be an auto wired dependency. Now let's start creating the classes. The package I will be creating it is in models, and one thing more is I have to add some more dependencies here. First thing is adding the Lambda dependency from AWS SDK, and second is to add the Lombok as well, because you have to define the getters and setters. Lombok makes it easier for us. Let's first add the Lombok. So here you can see the Lombok has added. Now I have to add that a Lambda dependency. So let's add it here. All right. What was it? Yeah, I copy pasted it in the wrong place. This was the Lambda dependency which I will be using. I copy pasted it from my notepad itself. Let's reload the project once. Okay, the project is loaded now. Now we can use the dependency code. So first thing is we have to annotate the getters and setters here. So that getters and setters are created for the properties. Private int array we have to define first, and then the d value. I will tell you what this means when I will be showing you in my console these arguments. So this function, this class is done. We have to now move over to service class. The service class is not created. Let's create it. That will be inside the services, right? Now we have to annotate it as at that service that it is a part of the dependency. Now we have to define some local variable. First one is the lambda client. Only one local variable, lambda client. This will be the one who is making the call to the lambda function. It is part of the SDK. Now we have to instantiate it from a constructor. So it won't be done using a parameterized constructor, but no Arch constructor, and we have to define the instantiation logic by ourselves. This is the logic. You can see lambda client.builder.build. By this line, it will be built properly. For this to work, you have to have credentials file already existing in a local system. If you don't have that file, I will be attaching a link in description how to add this file from a AWS CLI, or you can simply copy paste that as well. So now let's proceed further in defining a function which will be making a lambda function call. That function call will return a JSON string. So let's define that, and let's define the function name left rotate array by d places. This is actually a DSA problem, left rotate array by d places. If you don't know, this logic is already present in our lambda function definition. We won't have to worry about it. We just have to call that function. So we have to pass some payload to it. So payload is a string payload we need to pass. So right now I have that already present as a code snippet. So I'll simply copy paste that. Because of the verbosity of the code, I have to copy paste that. So also it expects a left array, left rotate. Now what was the name of the class? Lambda array request, right? Okay. Lambda array request is this one. Lambda array request. We need to do these changes. Okay, now our payload is ready. Now we need to define our invoke request. Invoke request is a part of the SDK only, which will be passed to our lambda function call. So we need to build that. Invoke request dot builder. We need to pass two things. First one is function name, right? And our function name is present in our console. We need to directly copy paste that. In your case, it might be different. In my case, it's left rotate array by d places. I will show you where it is present in my console. Next thing is to pass the payload. Now this expects an SDK bytes kind of data type. We need to convert that. So this class already provides that definition. So you just need to pass the payload and it will convert that to string. Convert the string to SDK bytes. Now we need to build it. So this request is built now. Now we need to make the call, and that call will return a response to us. So we'll be capturing that invoke response, and that call will be made by our lambda client using the invoke method. We need to pass the invoke request to it, and now the call will be complete. That call will return a response, and response will contain a payload. So we need to fetch that payload, and we have to return that to our API call. So payload is a kind of SDK bytes only. You have to convert that to string. This code blocks does that conversion. So our logic for this lambda service is done now. Can move ahead to controller and complete its implementation. First thing is it will make the call to that lambda service method, and it will return a lambda call response, right? Lambda service call like this. This function will be passed this argument, and this will be a JSON string returned to it. But in our case, we need a JSON array to properly map that to our Pojo class. I was facing some conversion issue, and this workaround worked for me. This one. So what it does is removes the double quotes from a string, both the double quotes on both ends, and now it was able to parse properly. This workaround works for me. it will work for you as well. So let's define the object mapper, which is present in our Jackson library, which does the conversion of JSON string to Java object. Equal to new object mapper, and then let's do the conversion. We'll be capturing it inside list of integer because it was JSON array. This is the result which will be returned. Object mapper does read the value from that JSON string, which will be lambda. Lambda, right? And it will convert it to list.class, right? And this method throws an exception. Need to handle that properly. So surround it with try catch for now. And we got the result now in a list of integers. We can iterate over it. For now, I am simply returning it to our API call to return the result. And then I don't need this line anymore. And I have to define that this is a post mapping call, and that endpoint will be called lambda. Okay. So now our implementation of controller is done, our service is done, and even my dependencies are also done. So now I can simply make the call and see our API in action, our lambda function call in action. Let's proceed. So this is my Postman screen. I will be making the call to this endpoint, right? Before that, I need to run the application. All right, so our application is running now. You can see that it's running on port 8080. Now we can simply go to our Postman and let's make our API call. So we'll be passing this array and this d value. What it does is rotates the given array by 3 places. So 1 will come after 6, 2 will come after 1, and 3 will come after 2. So this left rotation will be done. Let's see it in action. Let's make the call. This lambda function call was being done here. So we can see that 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3 is the output. 1 came here, 2 came here, and 3 came here. So this is functioning properly. Now let's see in our AWS console how our lambda function looks like. So I have these 3 lambda functions present in my console. This one I was making call to left rotate array by d places. Let's get inside it and see what it has. So this is the code which we don't need to worry about right now. We just need to test it in the console. Like I will show you how to test already existing lambda function from your console itself. So this is my saved event, means our input parameters which will be passing to a lambda function. This is the array, this is the d value. Let's change it to 5 and 6 for now for sake of simplicity, and let's make the call. So call is success. You can see 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. This 1 came here, 2 came here, 3 came here. Same way as we saw in the Postman, right? This is how it is functioning here in our console. So this is all I wanted to cover in this video. If you found any difficulty in implementing these steps, please comment down so that I can help you in resolving it. Also, if you found this video helpful in implementing the steps, do hit that like button. Also, if you are new to this channel and if you want to see more videos like this in the AWS series, please subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification icon so that you get the latest updates of my newly uploaded videos. So thank you for watching and have a great day.